We now have several questions answered, although it was pretty certain that Broadcom was going to drop the bid, but it also decided that it's going to go ahead with its plan to re-domicile in the U.S. from Singapore. What does that signal about Broadcom's intentions going forward?
Sure. So it didn't really have a choice, actually. It had to go forward with relocating to the U.S. because that was part of its agreement with CFIUS to get sign-off on its Brocade acquisition, which was still pending at the time that they announced this re-domicile to the U.S. So if they had backtracked on that, they probably would have had to somehow undo that deal, which would be very difficult considering they're 4 months into the integration process. But I think politically speaking, they also probably want to go ahead with moving to the U.S. to try to somehow salvage their path to doing acquisitions in the U.S. This was a pretty serious swatting down by the president, but I think Broadcom has to hope that they're still going to be able to find acquisitions because that's really the basis of their business model.
Yeah, I mean, their huge expansion was due more to M&As and organic growth because of Broadcom itself. But do we have at this point any idea who the potential targets could be?
Sure. I mean, I think it's very limited. I mean, there's nothing really big out there that's going to move the needle like Qualcomm would have. And I think given that CFIUS and the president's concerns were based around 5G technology, that sort of rules out anybody that's a key player in what's going to be a very significant area for semiconductor makers. So maybe you see something more on the fringes, but those have problems of their own. And so I think it's going to be really interesting to see what Broadcom does. And there's some speculation among analysts that if he can't find another deal, if somehow this all blows up, could we be looking at a CEO change at Broadcom?